The transition to college brings major academic, emotional, and lifestyle changes. Because of these pressures, many students turn to masturbation as a quick and new coping mechanism. While normal and healthy in moderation, masturbation becomes harmful when used to escape stress, procrastinate, or avoiding responsibilities in general. So in this presentation, I highlight why this issue occurs and explain how the balance framework offers the most effective and sustainable solution. Researchers show that freshmen face higher levels of stress due to academic demands, social expectations from both friends and families, and their newfound freedoms as well. Without structured routines or strong coping strategies, students often look for accessible outlets. And masturbation becomes an easy escape because of the constant internet access, privacy in the dorms, or even at home in their bedrooms, and limited supervision. According to the health and wellness website Healthline in 2022, masturbation itself is normal and healthy. But the problem is when it becomes a frequent response to stress, loneliness, academic overload, or even boredom. When it serves as this emotional regulation rather than sexual expression, students may unintentionally form habits that interfere with their productivity as well as their emotional well being. Using masturbation as a repetitive coping mechanism can also reduce focus, increase procrastination, and weaken academic discipline, which then creates this loop leading to avoidance, worsening academic tasks, and then this guilt that increases the stress over and over and over again. A study by Chowdhury in 2019 also found that stress-driven masturbation among undergraduates lead to reduced energy, lower intellectual performance, and decreased academic involvement. Emotional consequences such as guilt, shame, and frustration make this cycle harder to break, reinforcing the behavior rather than relieving stress. Traditional strategies often include avoiding triggers, increasing studying hours, or adding more activities to stay busy. But while they seem helpful, these approaches commonly fail because they attempt to suppress this behavior but do not address psychological roots like stress, loneliness, or lack of structure. Secondly, they provide short term relief but do not build long term coping skills. And finally, they avoid triggers entirely. Avoiding triggers entirely is unrealistic in this digital age, and it also increases workload without emotional support, which then leads to burnout. And because these methods are inconsistent and unsustainable, a more comprehensive solution is needed. Which is where the balance framework comes in. It provides a structured, holistic, and realistic approach to managing distraction based masturbation. It stands for B. Building awareness for triggers. Recognizing emotional, academic, and situational triggers is the first step in breaking habitual cycles. A. Actively replacing the habit with exercise, as physical activity improves mood and reduces stress through endorphin release. L. Limiting screen time, especially now. Controlling digital use reduces exposure to triggers without requiring unrealistic abstinence at all. A is for aligning goals with long-term priorities. Connecting daily tasks to long-term academic or even personal goals strengthens discipline and motivation. And N, note feelings in a journal. Journaling supports emotional regulation and increases self-awareness at the same time. C, creating a time structure which establishes routines, reducing idle time, minimizes procrastination, and supports academic stability. Finally, E, engaging in accountability. Having having a mentor, friend, or support group improves consistency and motivation. To conclude, masturbation becomes problematic not because the act is inherently harmful, but because it often misused as a coping strategy for college related stress. Previous interventions failed because they focus on suppression rather than understanding. The balance framework, however, stands out as the most practical, necessary, and beneficial solution because it builds emotional resilience, improving time management, and supporting healthier coping habits. By adopting balance, college freshmen can reduce distracting habits and promote a more balanced, mindful, and academically stable lifestyle.